Hey folks, we were talking about bootstrapping in Social Factorio the other day, so I thought I would show you how I bootstrap. So first of all, map setup. My current favorite thing is to turn the resource frequency right down and the resource size right up. They balance because 6 times 0.17 is 1, but then I like it a little bit richer than that because I'm a little bit lazy. Uranium, on the other hand, I want almost none of. I always seem to have too much of it and I struggle to mine it out. Oil, I like a little bit more than none, but since you can't mine it out, you may as well make it as rich as possible just to make the game a bit easier. Terrain, I like water huge and rare. This results in large lakes at the edge of the map, which are good for huge reactors or refineries, but does not mess up the middle of the map where you're bootstrapping. Cliffs I leave on, possibly controversial, but you need something to use cliff explosives on. Enemies, I like to make them a little bit tougher so there's a little bit of mid-game pressure, but I don't like early game pressure, so give myself a massive starting area. I do like the research cube. So, with those settings, let's give it a go and see what map I get. I usually save right at the beginning because I like to have somewhere that I can start from if I decide I need to play the whole thing again. You can see a bit of a naming theme with my maps, but anyway, so I save one to get going, and then I save a working copy. Right. Let's switch on the thing viewer so I can see the things that I got to pick up. Oh, don't get too burnt, Robbie. Right, now let's have a look at what map I got. Oh, nice. They're all very close together. The wreck is not too far away, and there is the starting water. So that's a pretty good starting map. So let's get a copy of my bootstrapping book, drop it into my inventory, and get my initial blueprints. Now, I like to get started initially. Now, what I try and do is spot a coal rock because I like to not have to dig up too much coal by hand. So pick up a big coal rock to get started. And then you're going to need a lot of stone furnaces, so start building those. Now, here's my initial area. There's a lot of trees here. But I will start by laying out somewhere to get some initial iron, some initial copper, some initial coal, and some initial stone. Where was the stone? Down the bottom. Once I've used those blueprints, I chuck them away because then I can keep track of where I'm up to. Notice that doesn't, of course, affect my actual blueprint book that I use each time and keep updated. Next, it's time to start bootstrapping. I put coal in my toolbar at this point because I'm going to want it a lot, and I start mining out some more iron. Now, I generally try and keep myself making a few cogs at various points in time because you're going to want cogs to make drills and stuff like that. So I'm also using the coal splitting thing to move stuff between it so that I can keep myself in coal. Now, I'll need a little bit of iron to get further, so you may as well grab some trees while I'm doing that. And make a few boxes. You'll need quite a few boxes to get off the ground. You can wait till you get steel and do it a bit more parsimoniously, but honestly, I ain't got time for that. Now, by the way, I should point out this is in no sense a speed run. I'm a very meandering Factorio player, and this will not be the fastest way to bootstrap. It's just the way that I enjoy doing it that I find quite pleasant. Once I've got those cogs, I should have enough to make 2 more burner inserters, and then I can start manufacturing coal. Was enough. Once you've got them started with fuel, they'll feed each other, and so you can just set up 2 like that and start working. One of the things that's good to do is to get your stone going fairly early on, because you're going to want a lot of. I put it down wrong. You're going to want a lot of stone. I'll just let him start making a little bit of stone and go and grab a bit of coal. bit of a balance here between how much you make coal and how much you make iron. There's no black art. It'll take a bit longer one way or the other. Stone is what I need. Now I'm just basically spotting places where I need to put more fuel in as I go past them. Because I'm finding myself waiting for stone a bit, I'm gonna make another stone miner. Now be careful you don't make too many burner inserters that you don't need here. It's easy to make more than you need. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do, you just put them in your chest of shame and blow it up later in the game, but somehow it feels like a waste. How many more do I need? I need 1, 2, 3, 7 more. One, I need 3 more. Nice. And I'm still going to need 4 little stone furnaces there, so I'm not quite out of the woods for stone. There we go. Now, that should be enough stone for now, but we'll need a lot more in future. Okay. Oh, whoops. I was going to put some of that in the furnaces. Okay. Oops, I didn't split that one. Okay, that should keep us going for a little bit. Right, so the last part of phase 1 is some science. So go up to where your water is. Now, don't use the best spot of water for this because you're going to want to make a much bigger steam engine later. So I usually just put it somewhere which is convenient and close to the front, but do have room to add another steam engine. Flip the blueprint if you need to, because you're going to want to have at least one more steam engine here. Then get some basic stuff going. You're going to need some copper to make power poles. You're going to need wood for power poles, so you may as well cut some wood at this point. As you're build up more coal, you'll find that you don't need to refill them as much. Oi, there's a race condition, sometimes you'll accidentally strip them too much. I think it's because I filled them at the simultaneously, so they're burning at the same rate. You probably should let them kill each other. It works a bit better that way. Let's see. I've got those. I've got some power poles now. I need a lab. Now you also need 10 potions to get started. Oh, I've got enough for the potions. Good. So, but I didn't bring any fuel. Get some coal. And I need some iron, and I'll need some copper also. Oh, I've got the potions, so I don't need copper yet. Let's go up here. Now, these initial blueprints, I encourage you to craft a set that you like and that work for you. There's no particular black art to how they work. I just iterated and experimented until I got a set that I liked. That's going to take a second for my potions to fill out, but let's start. And select a research. Now, the first research, of course, that you should do is factories. After that, I like to do steel and the axe because it saves time, but you're going to want underground belts pretty soon too. So that gives me a little starting sort of research. Cool. Now, keep the potions fed. If I'd timed it better, I would actually have all the potions in hand by the time I was doing this, but close enough. Now I might as well throw out that blueprint because I don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to need some... Right, so now I should be getting automation soon. Notice my coal is chuffing away down here. May as well paint a bit of this while I wait. So I just pick stuff straight out of the furnaces here while I'm getting going. Now I'm going to need a few pickers to get this working. Oh, I ran the wrong way around that. You have to give a bit of an eye on the coal here, but it's not super important if you run this early in the game. Remember, we've got given ourselves a large starting area. Right, so I just got the research. Now I can make factories. So now I can bootstrap the manufacture of science as well, so I don't have to keep handcrafting potions. And just give the... Now, I've forgotten something here. There's a picker that I forgot. Get that last factory. Okay, so now I've got those. They're all feeding, and that should start working there. I probably need 2 more labs at some point. More circuits. Bit of a pain making those by hand, but pretty soon we'll have a better way of doing that. Another lab, some more factories, because I'm definitely going to want those. Some more yellow things, right, so let's run power up. I know I can clear the ship, but sometimes I like to leave it there, just for fun. Whee! That happens from time to time. When you do that, I tend to use undo so that I can put things back in exactly the right spot, otherwise you end up putting them in the wrong spot. Yep, oh, there's the lab. Okay, so now I've got everything. My lad's going, I've got enough power. And, oh, things are starting to light up down here, but you should be getting fair amounts of coal out of your little coal manufacturer now. And then you fill out this area. Oh, haven't got enough villager. Oh, they're coming later in the piece. I'm waiting for circuits to make factories. That always takes ages. Let's give him, whoa, wrong one. Give him some iron. Now, this is my little circuit manufacturing area. I let's wire this together. Good. I set up my hotkeys on the fly as I go here. I didn't do a good job of the power here. Doesn't matter. I ordered a few too many factories, so I'm waiting a little bit for things to arrive at this point. I probably should have only done 5, and I would have got my yellow things sooner. But anyway, the goal here is to manufacture the annoying things that are annoying to manufacture by hand, and just dump them in chests so that you can just keep coming back and refreshing as you do the rest of the bootstrap. So the first things that are like that for me are circuits and cogs and belts. So it's too hard to rig up the conveyors to make the iron work there. You can if you want, but you don't have to. And often these patches aren't this close together. So I just dump iron in it. And that means I now have a little ready supply of circuits, which makes it faster to manufacture the next lot of things. Similarly, once I get those pickers through, I can start manufacturing belts at scale. Or not at scale. Whoops, leave some iron to those, Robbie. Now, you'll notice there's multiple pickers in various places. Most of these things are tuned to have approximately the right output rates for various things, so that makes it a bit easier to get stuff going. You'll also have to keep a slight eye on that chest upstairs that is feeding the science area, because if you don't keep an eye on that, it will run out of what you're feeding it with and your science will backlog. Just keep an eye on the percentage in your science. A bit later on in the game, we'll have sirens and stuff like that that we can use to more efficiently keep track of when things are broken. I'll just give this a lot more coal at the moment, but yep, he's going fine. And you're almost always going to need a new a second steam burner there, especially if you put a radar there. Whether I put a radar there depends a bit on the size of the map and how things are going. On small maps, you don't need it. So on tight maps, as in ones where the initial resources are close together, you don't always need the radar as much. So I don't always build it early on. But we may as well do that now. Give him a pole. Okay, so the last thing to do the initial bootstrap. Now you'll notice I've done something really dumb here, is I put this where I can't access that chest. So I'm going to have to keep filling that with coal for a little while, but that doesn't matter because pretty soon we'll have a much better power setup anyway. Right, so that's kind of phase 1 of Bootstrap. I'll come back with the next phase shortly.